my people, welcome back again to this channel. The federal government should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is not the problem of Nigeria. The people who are the problems of Nigeria are these terrorists you guys are seeing in this video. Imagine the way they are detaining an innocent man who is only fighting for the freedom of Indi Igbos. And the worst part of it is that if they catch these terrorists, they after everything they will release them and call them repented Boko Haram. And the only reason why they are still detaining this man is because he's an Igbo man, and also because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always exposing their evil agendas, like the evil things that is going on in this country. That's the reason why they are still keeping this man in detention. I want you guys to just look at this video and watch the real people who are terrorizing this country. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. These are the people terrorizing the country. Guys, take a look at this video. I'll be right back.
Mommy, see your pikin. Show come. Mommy, see your pikin. I beg you. Mommy. I beg, no problem.
Be true to ourselves. And do we really want to be true to our calling here as senators? And the reason why I ask that is very simple, Mr. President. I have been here for a very long time. And for each session I've been here, we have had security summits. Each session. In fact, the last one, we were part of setting it up and then we did everything. At the end of the day, nothing came out of it. So, there is no one of us here who does not know what is going on in his area. Do we want to be true and fair and say the truth about what is happening in this country? If we want to be true to ourselves, then we can go ahead with a summit. Then we can deal with this matter. But if we're just going to stand up here to now make statements so that people will see us on television, then I want to profound, Mr. President, that we will just end up doing exactly what we have been doing, make statements, and nothing will come out of it.
If security is the only thing this National Assembly will achieve, then it is all will go home and drive. Mr. President, 2 years down the line, what can we say is our achievement as a parliament? How many times, Mr. President, have we interrogated committees on defense, committees on Navy, committee on Air Force, committee on police, committee on national security? These are committees that set out to achieve what the Constitution says we should achieve. Over the last 2 years, and you recall, Mr. President, too, when we were screening the service chiefs, here we raised a question, one of the questions that was raised to the Chief of Air Staff, where is our Tucano? Where is our Tucano aircraft? Fighter jets. And you also recall, this Tucano was purchased by no less than $1 billion borrowed. And the answer given to the Parliament by the Chief of Air Staff was Tucano is in our domain, but we can no longer use Tucano because they have signed a contract which limited the operations of this Tucano. If you know ab initio that this Tucano has limitations, inhibition for usage, why in the first instance did you buy them? How much did you buy them? Who ordered the contract? Who did the procurement? Where are the Tucanos physically? Mr. President, we cannot, for having a divided
The two Senator, you are protected.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, This issue of security is troubling. And day in, day out, we are losing our servicemen to this insurgent. Day in, day out, all across this country. It is not one state or the other. It is almost all the 36 states of the Federation. And I'm not going to stand up and claim that the president is doing his best. The only time that we can say the president is doing his best is when we interrogate the implementation of the 2023 appropriation, the implementation of the 2024 appropriation as it pertains to security. You recall, Mr. President, the National Security Advisor was invited last year, and he came forward and told us point blank that not enough appropriation was released to the security apparatus. We are here in a very comfortable confines of Abuja, but I can tell you, in a very short time, I'm not a pessimist, in a very short time, if care is not taken, these bandits that are running towns and villages in Benue, in Zamfara, in Sokoto, in Kebbi, are gradually moving into the close neighborhood of this city. Today, Mr. President, I can confirm to you authoritatively that you can no longer go to Kwali, go to Kubwa, and these suburbs beyond 9 to 10 o'clock in the evening because of fear of being taken away. And therefore, consequently, it is important, Mr. President, to acknowledge if we continue to keep on doing things without result and keep on doing them, we are not only deceiving ourselves, we are deceiving the people that sent us here to represent them. I am not sure whether the solutions has to do with creating a summit. First, Mr. President, we must be able to interrogate our committees in a session with the executive to come forward and inform us what goes into their budget 2023, 2024, 2025, and what comes out into the implementation of the budget. Secondly, I do not think it will be fair to the security chiefs if we just go ahead and do a security summit. We must interrogate them one by one, subjecting them to the findings of the appropriate standing committees. Committees are created to serve as liaison to the Senate. As a committee, you don't need to have an information and you sit on it. Sitting on it will not give you any desired effect. Once you have security reports and the security architecture of this country, you could visibly see they are getting overwhelmed. Lastly, Mr. President, in the course of the interrogation, let's find how many number of military personnel do you have. How many are in the Air Force? How many are in the Navy? How many are in the Army? How many are in the police? How many are in the Office of National Security Officer? How many are in the NIA? And so on and so forth. We can't sit down and begin to believe that when we speak big grammar, it will solve the problem. It is much, much more than that. And Mr. President, like I said, during the speech, your speech, on the second session of the 10th Senate, the second session of the 10th Senate, this is a matter that you must lead. This is a matter that you must personally lead. It is not just enough to assign these responsibilities to committee chairman, because I don't like to assume that this committee chairman failed. But I would like to believe we have not called these committees to action, interrogate them, to be able to find out what are they actually doing. And not only all this security committee, every committee, it is the responsibility of the leadership, of course, under the leadership of the Senate leader, to interrogate committees. What do we do? What are we doing? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And then the chamber will also contribute. I believe speaking in this manner, in plenary like this, is not going to bring any solution. And I believe the points raised by Senator Yumo, they're apt, they're germane. But I believe security summit is not the solution. It's much, much, much more than that. We need to do our homework. We need to bring data. We need to go to see the president with that data. Lastly, sir, it makes people a lot of wonder about so many things going under the leadership of the security support. I'm not questioning their integrity, but I believe the servicemen are not getting their due protection, their due appreciation. They are not getting their due. They are not being paid back. And you see, in the last 20 months, we have lost almost 520 service chiefs, all across servicemen, all across our armed forces. For how long can we continue to lose them? And the thousands of people, thousands of Nigerians that have been kidnapped on a daily basis. It is no longer any issue. People come to house and they will just kidnap you. And when you pay, they release you. And nothing has ever happened because the security servicemen are incapacitated. They are handicapped. Finally, last week on my way out of Lagos, I met someone who told me there is a possible invasion of Mahmudawa, a security outfit, all the way from Mauritania, and they are getting into Kwara and Oyo, and they are beginning to settle down there. Today, sir, the entire suburbs of this city called FCT is surrounded by illegal miners. And you remember what put Zamfara at the core terrorist striking area is mining. The entire gap between Abuja and Lokoja has been taken over by illegal mining. And they do it openly, clearly openly, and nobody questions them. And people are busy buying plots between here and Kuje and Lokoja, just because we were told there are mineral deposits there, and therefore the business has opened. And when you open that kind of business, make no doubt about that, the entire populace of this city is at risk. I shall submit, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, if you notice the issue of retreat, it is, and then Senator Nengi has raised a vital issue, which is, are we interrogating the chairman of our various security committees in the Senate? Chairman of Defense, Chairman of Navy, Chairman of Army, Chairman of National Security, Chairman of Air Force, and all. Are we even interrogating them? That is the question. And that the Senate leader ought to periodically compile the workings of the various committees and report back to the Senate. But that has not been done because he is probably yet to have a meeting with all the Senate committee chairmen. And then he should be able to get written reports from them and communicate them to us. We don't need to discuss it in plenary. We can do so in closed session. So, but the question we need to answer now is that in view of the escalating insecurity in the country, which sometimes may be politically motivated.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the savior of the Igbos. Sometimes I wonder why the federal government doesn't want to give this man his peace. This is the man always fighting for the freedom of everybody. Now the main terrorists, like the people who they should attack, the people that the federal government should arrest and keep them under detention or behind bars, is these terrorists that are disturbing people. You guys saw in the video, and you guys also saw what this national as House of Assembly have to say about insecurity. These people are going to catch haram, terrorists. They're going to catch them, and do you know what they do? They release them. After releasing them, they will call them repentant Boko Haram. Some of them release them, and they go back to their community and start causing more havoc. In fact, they go as far as anybody that reported them to the police or the army, they go as far as coming for those people and trying to buy them. Like, Nigerians are tired of the way these terrorists are disturbing them. Imagine holding an innocent man in detention while you know that he is not the one causing the problem in Nigeria. The federal government should leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and face the real terrorists, the people who are causing problem in this country. They are just facing the wrong thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with the insecurity in Nigeria. That's one thing that the federal government refused to understand. Like, there was this particular video I saw, or will I say is an article I saw online, where they said that they gave this repented Boko Haram, they gave them guns, telling them to join army because they feel that they were experienced. They gave them gun and also gave them bike as security. The government of a particular state gave it to them, only for these people to, after 1 week, they ran away with the gun and the bike, and they went back to the bush, or will I say forest, where they are, to still continue doing the havoc they are causing in the community. This is totally bad. They should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This man has nothing to do with the problems in Nigeria. Like I always say, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has the power to stop insecurity, just like he used to tell us that once he gets released, like once he's out from this detention, that you guys are no longer going to hear insecurity in the land again. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying, that insecurity will be far away from Nigeria. And I trust that man. They're all doing their possible best to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down, to prosecute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You guys saw what happened in court, the way they brought witnesses against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These people brought, I think they brought like 5 witnesses to come and testify against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But among everything they were saying in that court, nobody mentioned that he was seen with gun. He never mentioned it. In fact, they asked him this question. They asked him how is he associated with ESN, that is Eastern Security Network, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them that Eastern Security Network is a vigilante group that was created in Biafra land in order to support their mothers, in fact protect their mothers from any danger while they are going to farm. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu replied them, and all of them were shocked. They went as far as asking him why did he make such a broadcast he made during the NSAS protest. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asked them that if you see people buying your own people, why won't you ask them to kill them? It's just like now you're here and someone wants to try and kill you, you have to defend yourself against them immediately. Now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that the reason why he made that NSAS protest broadcast was because the army people were buying many youths, buying protesters in Lagos. You guys know what happened in NSAS. It was bloody. It was a real massacre. Like, you guys saw what happened in NSAS. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the reason why he did that was because he didn't like the way the army were buying protesters that came out to protest peacefully against these police people, against police, the way police are harassing them, and everything turned bloody. These people were buying young youths, and this is the reason why my Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always asking the Igbo youths, don't try and join army. These people are only using this opportunity in order to bring Igbo people down, because they know that once you join army, once any Igbo youths join army, they will try to collect all the whole vibrant youths in Igbo land and take them to another community to serve, so that they will buy all the whole youths in that place and make Igbo people so vulnerable for attack. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. Anyway guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thought below. What do you really think about this video you guys just watched? And also, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share. So guys, thanks for watching.